My name's Chase, and I'm here on behalf of Pelican. We got a bunch of cool Pelican gear up here, and I'm going to try and give some away throughout this presentation, okay? Who likes Pelican gear? Have you guys gone and checked out the new hybrid Aegis stuff that they got downstairs? Awesome. So we got a bunch of it. The only thing you can't take is this one. This is mine. You can't take that one. But I'm here to talk about solo travel storytelling, content creating, and some of the gear essentials. That's where Pelican comes in, and how I, do this storytelling stuff. So who am I? I'm Chase Gardner, and thank you all for coming here. I'm very happy to be speaking to you about this today. I'm based in Tucson, Arizona. I am a solo traveler. I do have friends. I promise I have a girlfriend as well. She's right there. So she lets me go travel by myself sometimes, and she also comes along as well. But I'm here to talk about solo traveling because I think it's intimidating to some people, as well as how you film yourself Survivor Man style. It's kind of hard, and there's a lot of things you got to think about. And I'm here to kind of share how I do it with you guys, and maybe inspire you a little bit to go and do some of these things in beautiful places. Like that picture is sick. I know exactly where that is. There's about a 1,000-foot cliff in front of me that I'm just chilling, looking out over it. It's beautiful. So I'm a filmmaker, photographer. I've started doing more filmmaking than photography lately, but photography is a great way to storytell as well. It's always important to keep in mind, other than just, filming everything, make sure to take photos. Carousels are doing great on Instagram, and also what you can do is you can take, just snapshots of your film or your video that you're taking and use that as photos. Something to always keep in mind if you forget to take photos, because I always do that. I'm really bad at it. But you guys can check me out, Chase and Point and Two Track Nation on Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube. But this is what we're going to talk about: introduction, passions. I'm going to get a little bit deep in the beginning. I want to get you guys inspired about your lives and things that you want to do. This is what I'm really passionate about, is traveling and content creating, right? So that's what I'm passionate about. But I feel like everyone is probably likes doing that stuff where you're at a camera event for B&H Photo, so probably resonates with you guys. We're going to talk about filming techniques, how I go about doing stuff, capturing my travels, and I actually put together a short film all for you guys that I'm going to show as well after we talk about all these filming techniques, so you can judge me on how good I did off of everything I just told you to do. And then we'll talk about some gear and go over some of the Pelican gear I have. So I'm going to start off with the first question. Who here solo travels, and where have you been? Right here in the front. Say again? Morocco. Morocco. When was this? 2 weeks ago. And what did you do? Were you like camping? Were you? You went with a group? That's not solo traveling. But did you hear the question? All right.
Because it kind of was because they didn't want to take pictures, like, to go off on my own.
Okay.
So I did, like, a couple of bazaars and stuff on myself.
Okay.
So the main trip was with a group, but I
Okay.
like to go with
All right. All right. I didn't set any ground rules for winning Pelican gear, even if you gave a wrong answer, okay? So you still get to choose, but I want to hear from you right back there. You raise your hand as well.
I go to the coast a lot.
The coast. Okay, where?
Cape Cod, Martha's Vineyard.
Awesome. All by yourself?
Yeah.
Sick. I love that. Good for you. I saw a bunch of other hands go up. I want to hear all you guys' stories and stuff like that. And there's way more people here that, okay, you really want to talk. Yes. Okay. Uh-huh. Awesome. Good for you. Amazing. I love hearing that people are doing solo traveling because it's really intimidating, especially if you go in the middle of nowhere like I like to do. But I think I already talked about this. My passions, you guys get it. I love to solo travel, and I love making content based around that, as well as just travels that I go with my friends and my girlfriend and stuff like that, that I do. But I think it's important to, and so this is my passion, right? There's a lot of trends out there. I think it's really important to make sure that you are creating, the content that you create aligns with your passions. There's trends, you can use those trends to your advantage and spin it in your own way. I used to find myself going down the deep end about I got to find the next trending audio, and like I always start my short films with audio. I literally cannot start making a video unless I find the audio. I don't know why that is. Just me. Maybe you guys are the same. But I stopped using trending audio just because a lot of it doesn't align with like the video I'm trying to make. If there is one, great, use it. It's definitely going to help you. But I think it's more important to be true to yourself and the kind of emotion that you're trying to portray. So that for me is really important. Doing what you love. Okay. So I'm going to talk about next question. Who here knows what overlanding is? All right, what is overlanding?
It's like driving in and camping into a remote area off-road, 4x4.
That right there? That picture?
Nowhere.
Yeah, okay. So you guys are half done, all right? You guys got to fight for the last two. So yeah, overlanding is what I say I like to do. It is a fancy word for car camping in the middle of nowhere with like a truck that has a bunch of stuff on it. And it allows me to go to some pretty crazy places. And this is all on public land, which is like amazing. You don't have to pay, and you get the same amazing views that you get normally at a national park, but it's not Disneyland. So like, I'm the only person here at this place. I'm the only person at this place, and I also like to try and push my luck a little bit. We'll call it that. I tend to break my truck every now and then, but I like to inspire people to use their truck as well. You know, like nobody. What's the saying about the Porsche? The happiest man is a Porsche with like 100,000 miles on it or something. Like, I don't know. Might have made that up. I like to use it and destroy my stuff, and I find that's a really good experience. I also love, part of this whole venture is like, where can I go that nobody else has been? It's like a goal of mine to like seek out these amazing views that nobody's been to. This looks like Horseshoe Bend. It is not Horseshoe Bend. You guys can figure out where it is. I'm not going to tell you. But it is amazing. It's actually bigger than Horseshoe Bend. But this type of view, you get a really nice POV. I'm sitting on the edge of this crazy cliff. There's going to be a clip later in this video of me flying FPV off this cliff, and it's just an unbelievable place. I had this spot all to myself. So there's a lot of crazy spots out there for you guys to go and find. And if you don't like off-roading and camping, that's fine too. There's also tons of stuff where you can see it, really easy access right off the road, like national parks. But there is stuff like this out there. I just want to let you know. So that's what I love. So I want to. It is risky. You know, it costs a lot of money and it takes a lot of time. So like, I do have a 9-to-5 job, but I've just recently went part-time. So that's really cool. But I'm risking it a little bit because I'm trying to put my passions first and figure out a way to make money with content. That means making stuff that aligns with brands, working with brands, things like that. And there's a lot of other ways to do it, but that's what I'm trying to do with my life. So is everyone in here doing what they love? Or who can give me an example? Here's the real question. This is a Pelican question, Pelican gear winning question. If you are not doing something you love, what are you doing to take action towards it, or what is holding you back? You're right there.
I've been, actually, such a specific question that recently for me, I quit my job.
Good for you.
And I'm about to move to Atlanta.
Okay.
To fully pursue film as like a full-time career.
Full-time filmmaker
To make movies.
So you quit your job to be a full-time filmmaker. That's amazing. Good for you. That's hard to do, right? Let's give him a round of applause. Amazing there. Salute you. All right, nobody else wins for this one, but I want to hear a couple. You get to pick something because you're poor now, so you need the gear. All right, anybody else that is, you right there, yes.
I work a dead-end job that I absolutely hate.
Uh-huh.
So I picked up the artist way because 2 years ago I started just picking up the camera and shooting anything and everything I could.
Amazing.
I took off last year because I was burned out.
Okay.
Back into it.
Sorry, the last part?
I'm getting back into photography, but I'm finding what it is.
Amazing. Quit her dead-end job, started doing photography, and it's really hard to hear up here. Sorry.
I'm starting the artist way book.
Okay. Amazing. Good. Thank you. Last, and then we'll keep going. Yep.
I went to law school,
Okay.
and then I'm from Sudan.
Okay.
And then I'm specifically from Darfur. We had war, and I quit doing this job and started doing journalism.
Yeah.
I worked until I arrived to US. I worked with Voice of America. Before that, I traveled solo to Kenya, and then I went to a lot of war area in Sudan. But my solo is not like you. I don't have a car. I use donkeys, motorbikes.
Wow. Amazing. Well, welcome to America. So I love hearing these stories. You guys are really risking it and trying to live your life. So I'm going to give just a snapshot for some other people to think about. This is probably my favorite thing in the world to show people. This is a 90-year human life on a page. Every single box represents a week of your life, okay? The top shaded portion, that's my life. That's already been done, right? I have kind of outlined the prime years of your life. Generally, it's 20 to 50. We'll just call it that. I just made that up. And then most people retire at 65, and they start to live their life at 65. But most of your prime is when you're 20 to 50, right? So that's where these other people that are risking it to do what they're loving, I really respect you guys, because you are risking it. You're not as financially stable. That's why most people take till 65 to retire and do what they want to do. So I'm going to bring everyone back, because I just got real deep there. But the point is, this is what I love to do, and this is my favorite thing. I would rather have failed trying than to spend the rest of my life wondering what if. So that's why I'm doing what I'm doing, and this is the way that I'm going to share with you guys how I capture and create my content, solo traveling, and living my life to the best. So why do I solo travel? Is it not scary? Yes, it's absolutely scary. You could, and I have many times broken my truck in the middle of nowhere, and I have not had cell service when I did that, and I just had to figure it out. I remember there was this one time I broke my truck on the edge of a cliff, and there was a cow just staring at me. And the guy was like, dude, get out of my way. And I'm like, I can't move, man. I had to like replace my tie rod and all this stuff, and the cow just stood there like the whole time. I thought he was gonna charge me, but he just stood there for a half hour while I fixed my truck. So there's all sorts of stories like that. And I find in content, people love seeing that crap. They're like, man, look at you, that's hilarious. And how did you upload this if you don't have cell service? Well, it was like a few days ago. But it's always easy to forget to film that kind of stuff or take photos of your traumatic experiences, but I find that really adds to the story and the realism. So keep that in mind when you're doing it. So why solo travel? Because you can. Because you just heard everybody else that they are doing the things that is scaring them, and you can do it. As long as you're prepared, like I'm gonna say, you're gonna see more than you ever thought possible if you just go. I think, yeah, it looks better up there than here. So if you just go. So like the point being is like this photo in this example is I was on a camping trip, not solo, with a friend. And we were in Colorado. We just decided to meet up, and we heard that the Northern Lights were gonna pop off. This was end of last year. Did anybody of you guys get to see Northern Lights? Not a Pelican question. Raise your hands. Who saw the Northern Lights? Sick. You guys, more of you need to see the Northern Lights. That was pretty weak, I'm gonna be honest. There's only about 10 people that raised their hands. But the point of this is, you know, we just decided to send it up to the Grand Tetons, and I had the most euphoric night of my entire life, where I saw the Northern Lights just blow up over the Grand Tetons, and I was screaming at the top of my lungs. Like, it was insane, and we were just going nuts. But I wouldn't have done that if I didn't just send it basically up to the Grand Tetons. So if you are going to go and do some risky stuff or travel by yourself, not that Grand Tetons are not in the middle of nowhere, but like in the middle of Utah, or there's some pretty remote places in Montana and Wyoming. Be prepared. Bring your backup GPS. Inform your friends. Plan for the worst. These are some example photos of this. My truck on the left there is on a trail called El Camino del Diablo. It is one of the most remote trails in the entire country. There's 130 miles of absolutely nothing along the Mexico border, and it's a very old trail that was used for like thousands of years the way that I know it, but it was called the Trail of Death. I think that's the translation. I'm not very good at Spanish, but I think that's it. What's that? Trail of Devil. Devil's Trail, one of the two. Death, Devil, pretty similar. Yeah. Anyways, beautiful trail. Nobody out there. Absolutely nobody. No cell service. Right next to the Mexico border, and it was amazing. Had no problems at all, but I was prepared, and I was able to get some pretty crazy images like this. So I'm going to now kind of go into art of storytelling the way that I see it. What are these shots that I kind of have a go-to shot list that helps me remind me what to take, how to capture stuff, because when I'm out there, like, I get ADD pretty bad going down a trail over here, what's over here, and I just want to like jump to the next thing because I get so excited, but I need to, I want to be able to tell the story. So go-to shot list. So when we're talking about capturing content, this applies to anything, anything that you're trying to film or capture. Establishing wide-scale shots. We need to be able to say, hey, there's big mountains here, we got to have wide, this is where we're going to be. Point of view. This is one that I always forget personally. I have to keep reminding myself, like, if you're sitting in your car or you're hiking, sitting on the edge of a cliff, or I'm sitting on the stage and I see this sea of beautiful people in front of me and I want to tell that story, like, how cool is that to put your feet there and just like have a photo of all of you guys right in front of me? That tells the story pretty good. And same with the photo you saw earlier. Action shots. There's always stuff going on, whether you think it is or not. Even if you're driving through a river, that water coming off, slow motion, that looks sick. It's just kind of dripping down there. Locked off shot. This is what I call tripod on the tripod, where you have a single point of movement. So that would be just me walking across the stage here, or a singular point moving across the frame. And usually configured, what am I thinking? The word composure. Composition is important in these ones. So talk about gear. Film your gear. People like to see what you're using. It's part of the story. You're out there by yourself. People know that there's not someone following you around. Like, don't pretend that you're out there oh, it's a random camera. That's crazy that I got that shot. No, it's like, film part of that. That's cool. Part of the story. And bloopers. People love seeing bloopers. I know every single person in here has the tripod shot where they set up a tripod, they're filming themselves, look super stoic, and then they run back to the tripod. Everyone has way more shots of that. Those are funny. Anyways, it's not just about the shot list. It's also about sound design. Can't remember the next slide. Yeah, it's not just about this. It's about sound design, which we're going to talk about later, but how you feel in the moment. So use all of those shots to be your tools and how you're going to tell your story. So now I'm going to give examples of these. So establishing shots. All of these, except for one, are in the same location, but they all kind of give different perspectives. They're all drone shots, and they all give like this really big view of like, man, where is this guy? He's on the top of the mountains. I see an alpine lake. Is it cold up there? How high is he? That looks like maybe he's in Colorado, 12,000 feet up there. I'm trying to put you guys in that point of view. The top-down one is kind of cool. You can't tell exactly what's going on around me, but you're like, that guy's sitting next to a lake. What a crazy campsite. Scale. Everyone wants to show scale. In this, I'm going to go back one really quick. In these shots, see if I can get it to play. It's kind of hard to see my truck in some of these shots because it washes out, except for the top-down one and maybe the bottom left video right there. It's kind of hard to see my truck. So if you're trying to show scale, think about positioning your subject below the horizon or some high contrast piece, right? Here you can see I'm coming out on top of a cliff. This is a combination of a locked off shot and establishing shot. It's a wide shot. I'm showing you guys, I'm looking over a crazy canyon and you can kind of see me just walk out there and I'm taking a photo and you can see me peek up. You're like, holy crap, that guy's like on a serious cliff right there. Hope he doesn't jump or fall or something. POV. So this is what I was talking about earlier. You can also attribute this one to like some color grading techniques as well. But like I'm driving through the rain. I'm actually on the edge of a mountain here. It's kind of hard to see, but you're like, what is going on over there? It's really moody, dark. It's telling part of that story. Like I'm trying to get down the mountain right now, and I'm like, it is raining, and I'm kind of scared because there's the edge of a cliff right there, and I'm also by myself. So like setting the mood with your color grading and where this is, and it can feel weird filming stuff like this sometimes. I definitely hit my head on the camera like multiple times, just suction cup to the side of my window, but it will feel weird filming yourself if you guys are not used to it, but it's all about the storytelling for me. So action shots. These are really fun. You can see that you're like, there's a lot of stuff going on here. What frame am I looking at first? The top left one, you're probably like, this guy's got a broken mirror. What is going on here? What happened there? That's pretty interesting. It's not really moving that fast, but you're like, that's something action related. Like something happened there. That's part of a story. And I'm using, a slow shutter speed, so we got some motion blur in combination with depth of field. Top right, I'm driving through a river. That's crazy. How many of you guys have ever driven through a river? More than I thought. All right. Tell me about your river story back there. Yep. Yeah, you. You raised your hand. What's that? South Africa. Amazing. Tell me a little more. Okay. And did you ever sink it? Did it stop? No. No? Gotta try harder. It's amazing. Okay. And then we got some top-down shots as well as another one of like clearly my truck just trying to get over some boulders and I'm very stuck. So things to remind me. So the locked off. A lot of these are very similar composition or similar style shot. I'm the singular point moving in this frame. The bottom right one, I set up in a very specific way such that you can see the edge of the truck. You see me walking up to the truck, getting in the truck, and then I'm going to get in the truck and drive down the road in front of the truck. So like that whole frame sequence can be part of like the story. Like let's get in, we're going to get in the truck, and then we're going to drive down the road. And you'd see me driving down the road after that. The couple of the other ones are just me taking a chill moment. Like that's a very peaceful moment. That bottom left one, I think I have half an hour footage of me just sitting in that chair because I forgot that I was filming myself. But it was like a very insane, peaceful moment where I was just sitting there, and you guys can, if you put the music behind it and stuff like that, tell that part of the story. Like this is a really calm, serene, and you can like pause the music, create some drama, and like have that story, part of that story. So there's a lot of different techniques you can use for locked off. Top left one, I'm actually filming myself taking photos. I like to film myself. It's like filmception, I think, is the word. Film yourself, filming yourself, and taking photos. What was that? Yeah, exactly. I love that movie. So detail shots. You're out there cooking, you're off-roading, or you're hiking. Take a photo of like the sand coming off your shoes. Like that's really cool. That bottom right shot there, like I'm starting to run. You can see the sand getting kicked up behind me. I'm shooting in slow motion. You got a nice part of the story there. That's really cool. You're cooking eggs in the morning. That's part of the story. Film the eggs. Get the egg sizzle. All that sort of stuff. I drive on rocks a lot, so I film my tires going over rocks, and you get the flex and movement of the tires. So, don't forget the details. I cannot stress that enough. The details are what tie stories together. You can have a bunch of establishing shots, a bunch of POV shots and whatever, but if you don't have the details, it will not keep people as interested, and it's a really important part of the story. So filming your gear, remember I talked about filming gear. These are a couple examples of how you can film your gear. Bottom left shot is one of my favorites of all time. I'm setting up a shot silhouetted behind a sunset, just crazy, right outside Monument Valley. Top right shot is actually the shot I'm setting up for. filming the drone. Everyone likes seeing drones, and then you can transition to a drone shot, whether it be FPV like in the bottom right or top left. The next one is my favorite. Let's watch the bottom right really quick. Yeah, absolutely. Did you guys see that? Am I in the way? It'll loop. That's my FPV. I'm not very good. Smoked that one right in the ground, and I did not plan that, I swear. I'm like in the goggles right behind there. I'm like, all right, let's record this. And then just zoom, and you guys fly FPV? It's very different. And I had my mind in that I was flying a DJI Mavic, so I just like pushed forward, and it just pitches it forward, and I just smashed right into the ground, as you can see. That's really funny, though. People, everyone laughed, see? So like film the bloopers, even if you don't know, and then incorporate that into the content somehow. Bottom left, I don't even know what's going on there. I was just like trying to get something from the other side of the truck that I'm trying to film and like drive myself out. And then, I don't know. Top left, that's the tripod shot I'm talking about. Everyone's running back to the tripod to get the camera and stop recording. Top right, broke the truck, fixing the truck. Part of the story, swapping out a shock, again, was by myself. Rear end was going all over the place, and had to have a friend overnight mail me a shock to Moab so I could swap it out in front of a Napa Auto Parts. So those are all really great examples of half of the equation, in my opinion. We need to portray emotion. So when you're watching videos, there's only two senses that you get, audio and visual, right? We just talked about visual a lot. How do you do audio? If it's just a video, like those were all videos, they had no audio to them, right? So they're kind of boring. I was talking to them and kind of explaining how they work, but sound design is so important. And also, when you do have those video, what frame rates you're shooting at. Do you want that motion blur, or is it something really fast and when you slow it down, you need to make sure that thing is sharp. Think about all of those things when you're filming these things. Also colors. When you color grade, I recommend shooting raw. It can be more annoying when you're post-processing, but you're gonna get way more exposure. You're gonna be able to recover stuff. And when you're filming by yourself, I screw up a lot of shots. So having that flexibility is important. So just make sure to incorporate surroundings and put yourself in that moment whenever you're recreating it. And that's the emotion that you're trying to portray with sound and visual design. So with that being said, I have a video that I'm gonna show you guys, and you guys can critique me if you like. But I'm gonna give you an example of how all of these techniques can be incorporated together to tell a story effectively, and this is the way that I like to do it. So I think the next one is we're gonna play the video. I don't know if audio is ready or if we're good. I think we're good. Got a thumbs up, okay.
My name is Chase, and this is why you should jump in your car and hit the road. But then there's the quiet moments. It's nothing but you and the stars. And you hear the wind blowing across the trees as you take in the view. You hear the rustling of the leaves and the singing of the birds. And maybe you think about that cabin you passed on your way to camp the other day. You can make camp whatever you want. You're the only one out there. And your only priority is to get a fire going, eat some food, and get ready for tomorrow's adventure. You're left with your thoughts about everything you've seen on the trip and things you wish you had seen on the trip. But on this trip, we're not just here to take in the views. We're here for an adventure that is going to push the limits of our vehicle and ourselves. To push myself as far as I can go, right to the limit. For me, if I'm not slightly scared, then it's not enough of an adventure. My name is Chase, and that is why I solo travel. Anyone can do it. Be prepared, and I guarantee you're going to have the time of your life.
All right. Thank you. Good, we good? Awesome. So I hope I did okay. But that was like one really good way of me showing you why I like to story travel, is just to make a video about it to show you guys, or to solo travel and put together a video exactly what I'm talking about to you guys. So I hope that was pretty inspiring for you guys. So how do I capture that stuff? So essential gear. We're gonna kind of go into kind of my loadout. So I have this truck, right? Like takes me anywhere, but how do I film all of this stuff? And you can do it with anything that you want. Cell phones, I use quite a bit more gear than that, but obviously you need a camera and probably a bag to start, right? Variety of lenses. I started out doing astrophotography in the beginning, and so I shot with a bunch of prime lenses, but I got tired of zooming with my feet, filming by myself, so I ended up getting zoom lenses are a lot more helpful. You can you don't have to run around and try to frame everything. Tripods, drone. You got everyone. I think everyone has a drone now, but you got to have drones for those aerial views and perspectives that you just cannot get, that show like the vast craziness of mountains or desert landscapes, whatever it may be. Those bird's eye views, absolutely insane. Audio gear. I talked about audio and sound design. If you have a good video with bad audio and you need that audio, it's going to be a bad video. If you have a kind of bad video with really good audio, you're going to be fine. So that's the way I found anyways, because you can never go back and like fix the audio. You can like patch the audio into maybe a different clip if you want to let that got screwed up or maybe out of focus, or you can make fun of yourself being focused, but you can never get that audio back. And it always sounds different, even if you're trying to record it sitting at your desk. It always sounds different. It's going to sound different. So with that being said, this is kind of my loadout that I use. We got a couple of the Pelican bags up here that I've started to incorporate into my kit. Now, I don't always use these bags, right? It depends on the use case. Like, not everyone's using a big hard case, and not everyone's using a fanny pack for their street photography or street filming that they do. But I've been incorporating these a lot, and you can see I have a variety of body lenses and drones that we do. So if you guys have not tried FPV filming and it's something that you are interested in, I really recommend it. It's a lot of fun. It's kind of like flying a fighter jet, and I've never flown a fighter jet before, so I can't validate that or not, but it's as close as I think you could get to flying a fighter jet. And you will crash a lot. I even showed you guys. But you get crazy, just different perspective. In that video I showed you, some of the opening scenes of me like dive bombing down a mountain, you can kind of like feel like you're a bird, and you're just like got this eagle just cruising down this mountain cliff, and it's amazing. You can get, in combination with like a Mavic or something like that, which I do all the time, it's just a different type of looking at it. This is kind of my kit that I've been using a lot. I shoot Sony. That's just what I always have shot. I've actually never shot on anything else video-wise, but I know that there's a lot of other great camera companies out there. So I shoot an FX3, I shoot on an A7S III, and then I have a couple other photo cameras like an A7R4 and stuff like that. I love shooting prime lenses. I did say that I get lazy and I use zoom lenses more. But prime lenses are going to give you a look that you may not be able to get through a zoom lens because the aperture is going to be wider. You're going to get a better depth of field. Your bokeh balls are going to be different and all sorts of stuff like that. So just think about that. But if you're just starting out, 24 to 70, that's all you guys need. And 24 to 70 millimeter lens on a body, and I think you'll be fine. So this is one of my favorite pieces of kit that I do carry around with me forever. I've had this probably for 7 years. This is a Pelican memory card case. I'm not trying to like flex how many memory cards I have on you guys here because I know they're expensive. But I've never lost a memory card since I've been using this case, ever. Like, how many times have you guys put a memory card in your pocket thinking like, yeah, I'll get that somewhere else? And then it goes through the washing machine and it falls out in the dirt or something like that. So Pelican makes these, and I'm sure other companies too, but I love this one. This is a new bag that Pelican's come out with, like for you FPV pilots. I wanted to bring it up. It's right here. It's this guy. It's got hard cases, and on the inside you can put your goggles on the inside. You can also use it for like dual lenses. They have nice straps here to hold your lenses and stuff like that. But I just kind of wanted to highlight some of this new gear that Pelican has if you haven't taken a chance to get down there and how I'm using it. Now, there's no right or way wrong to use it. You can fill it with a couple water bottles or adult beverages or anything you want, probably. But that's how I'm using it. We also have these pretty cool roll-away travel bags. They have a bunch of different sizes of these, and I've been traveling, flew over here on these. They have a carry-on size, and they have 2 check-in sizes. I think that's the smaller check-in size. But there's also a duffel bag on the right that I'm showing you guys, and I don't have a photo of this, but this is a B&H photo exclusive, what I'm being told. And this is like your carry-on, or just a backpack, right? But they have done a camera insert in here, and it's pretty slick. I don't even have this, so I'm very excited to see them doing this, because the first thing I thought of was like, this would be a great camera bag because it has a hard case on the outside. So if you drop it, your stuff's going to be protected, even though it has a camera insert. That one's mine, does not have that. So, but yeah, that's some of the gear that I'm using to capture a lot of this stuff. You can do it with an iPhone or whatever, I think the saying is whatever's in your hand is the best camera at that moment in time. I definitely resonate with that. You don't have to have the latest and greatest, Sony Burano, which I would love to have. Sony, I love you. Yeah, just whatever's in your hand, I would love for you guys to just get out and start creating, whether it be by yourself. I think if there's, the reason I started solo traveling in the first place was because I was tired of waiting around for my friends to do it. And so I just started going by myself. So that's how I started, and that's what I would say is like, if you want to do something, go and do it, whatever passion that is that you have. And I hope that I inspired you a little bit today to do that. So with that being said, I think I'm perfectly on time to start taking questions if you have any. Yeah, you right up here in front.
How do you find places where you can actually travel to where you're not trespassing, but you can still explore? And also, how many takes did it take for you not to hit your head on the car jumping into it?
The car? Oh, like where I'm running, and I was like, yeah, I think 20 on that one. I think actually that one, I hurt my foot, and so I cut the audio right after that clip because I was like, oh, or something like that. But fantastic question for how you find places that you're not trespassing. None of the spots I shot at, those were all legal shots. None of that was trespassing, and it's all public land, either U.S. Forest, U.S. National Forest Service, or BLM land or state trust land. These are all public land that you guys own right now. Like, you all as taxpayers pay for the management of this land, and it's free access for you guys. How to find it? Great question. There are apps that you can use. Gaia is one. Onyx Off-Road is another. There are layers that will show you public land maps, and it'll show you the overlays of these public lands, and then you can look up what the rules are. In general, like, don't ever drive off trail. If you guys shoot guns. Some of them you can't shoot guns on it or whatever. And then some of them for dispersed camping, there are rules around dispersed camping, which is what I do. Like all these campsites are free. And dispersed camping, it either has to have like a fire ring or they only allow a certain amount of distance off trail to camp at. But all of that is available on the motor vehicle usage maps, which is also really accessible on an app called Avenza. And it'll GPS tag exactly where you are, and it'll let you print up and pull up the federal motor vehicle usage map, and it'll help you do that. But I'm not going to tell you where these spots are. That's half the fun. Half of this is going out and finding it, man. Like that is like the exciting part for me. So like it's out there. Yes, right here.
Hello. Thank you so much for inspiring us and
Okay,
being here
yeah.
today.
Thank you.
You had mentioned earlier in the presentation that when you first go into a project, the first consideration is audio. Can you elaborate
Yeah.
on that? Do you mean like track or natural sounds?
Yeah, so like I would say when I go out and like start filming a trip, I don't usually necessarily have a soundtrack in mind for it, if that's what your question was. But when I start editing it, I have to have like an audio, like a music track that I'm resonating with, like before I can start piecing the clips together to it. I don't know why the audio just like sets the mood initially, and then for me, I start grabbing clips and I just like spread them all out on the timeline, and I start piecing things together. Unless it's like more of like where I'm speaking like timeline based, more like a documentary style. But if I'm just making like an inspirational or hype type video, kind of like what I showed you guys here, it always starts with the audio. I have to do that, and then I put like banger clips, like I like to call them, just like wherever I want on the timeline. Did that answer your question? Where do I find the audio was the question. I use Artlist, and then I also use Adobe Sounds, and that's generally where I get all of the, like everything that I got off of here, I think was on Artlist, and they have, the audio is okay. It's, it's copyright-free stuff, so it's not like, it's not like your top 100 Billboard hits, but it's pretty good, and they do have like a lot of sound design stuff in there, which is very nice. Yeah.
How's it going? Thank you so much for your presentation. I was
Of
wondering,
course.
what's the most challenging environment that you filmed in, and how did you adapt to it?
The most challenging environment that I've filmed in, and how did I adapt to it? Is that a good question? I shot in a lightning storm once, and that was really scary. But I just was dumb, and that's how I adapted to it. I don't. I really wanted like a photo. I wanted a shot of me standing on the truck with lightning in the background, and it was just like raining like crazy. I wasn't prepared for rain coverage on my camera, so I just kind of like covered it with something, and then I just got the shot really quick. Obviously, I didn't die. I didn't get hit by lightning or anything like that, but just improvised is the best way I can say it. That was a really bad answer for a great question. But sometimes in the desert, like for me, FPV, like when I'm dive bombing off of something is like terrifying because I feel like I'm gonna crash, and you just have to learn to like calm down and slow down a little bit. So when you're out there by yourself in any situation like that, you can get a little bit overwhelmed sometimes if you're like, I got stuck, and then like I have to teach myself to like slow down and just kind of breathe and like film that anyways, because that's what people want to see. But you just sometimes want to get ahead of yourself. So like I would just say in any situation, if you're feeling like you don't know what to do, just kind of like calm down and take a breath, look around you, like, am I safe? Am I alive? Okay, we're good. Now maybe figure out how I'm going to get out, but like film the process. I hope that answered. Okay.
And that's all the time we have.
Okay, I'll be hanging outside. Who won gear? I forgot how many. They all left. I know there was you, and you. You got 3, and then someone answered over here. Yeah, it was you right there. Yep, exactly. You 4, please come up and claim your prizes from Pelican. And thank you all so much for coming. I hope you got inspired to risk your life.